Hey, good day everyone. Dr. Scott Stoll here, and I am here with Dr. Apple Bodemer, who is a board-certified dermatologist, also board-certified in integrative medicine and a lifestyle medicine specialist. And this year, she's going to be joining us at the International Plant-Based Nutrition Healthcare Conference. And we are so excited that you're here. I love this topic, Apple, so welcome.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here, and I'm super excited to be coming to the conference in a couple months.
Yeah, so tell me just a little bit about your topic. You know, dermatology is so interesting, and I think oftentimes in the field of like lifestyle medicine and plant-based nutrition, we forget how significant the impact of nutrition is on the skin. So tell us a little bit about your lecture and maybe just like one fun fact about food and skin.
Yeah, so I'm going to be talking specifically about how diet impacts acne. Now, certainly diet can impact a lot of variables in skin health and certain skin conditions, but there's a really strong association with diet and acne, and the evidence has just been building over the years. So during this talk, I'm going to really walk you through the evidence that we have, both from a biochemical standpoint and also from a epidemiological and clinical standpoint about, the various ways that diet can impact this specific condition.
Yeah, as you're talking, I'm just remembering back like when I was in high school, we used to go get like gallons of milk, and I would drink milk 3 or 4 times a day, and I would have acne breakouts, and it was so frustrating, and I had no idea why it was happening. Football, I got acne on my forehead. I had no idea it was related to my diet. And so for, people all over the world, especially teenagers, this is a really important topic, isn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely is. And, dairy is the number one thing that when I meet somebody who's got acne and they're interested in pursuing that, and even sometimes when they're not interested in pursuing that, I kind of like just put little tidbits out. And that's usually what I say, the number one thing, if I could choose one thing to change about your diet, would be to get you off of dairy. And that includes cheese. Unfortunately, I come from Wisconsin, which is the cheese state. And early in my kind of career working with lifestyle and working with diet in skin conditions, I would tell people, go off of dairy for 8 weeks. Let's see how you respond. And people would invariably come back and say, well, I've been off of dairy for 8 weeks. There's been no change. And it took me a little while, but then I started realizing, I have to ask about cheese, because when I heard that story, I would come back and say, well, how much cheese are you eating? Oh, I'm having cheese every day. And so I often joke that cheese in Wisconsin is considered its own food group at the bottom of the pyramid, and it's on everything. So, but cheese, milk, cheese, any sort of dairy really can stimulate those androgen hormones, which really can stimulate acne and a variety of other inflammatory conditions in the body. And so that is the number one thing that I work with. There's other things, and we'll talk about that at the conference. But yeah, that's kind of a quick tip. And then also the whey proteins is another thing. So even if people aren't drinking milk, and I see young men who are really wanting to bulk up for sports who are not drinking milk, but they're taking a whey protein supplement, and that might be the only dairy in their system, but that is really potent and powerful. And just taking that away alone can really improve things.
Yeah, and it's the taking away and then the adding in that really exponentially increases the healing, right? And so when somebody makes a radical transition to a really nutrient-rich, whole food, plant-based diet, how quickly does their skin change?
Skin tends to be slower than other organ systems. And I would say it takes usually, like when I'm doing an elimination with somebody, I'm really looking at 8 to 12 weeks, because acne starts underneath the skin. And a lot of people kind of don't really think about that. It's oil underneath the skin. It's the hormones that are going on underneath the skin that create the problem. And so even when we put people on very aggressive medications for acne, sometimes we see flares in those first 2 to 3 months because it's kind of kicking out what's already there. So it does take some patience when it comes to skin issues, and I would say most of my patients do more of a slow shift. And that tends to be sustainable for those patients. And, I think there's 2 ways of doing it. Cold turkey way, which I think I would start expecting to see dramatic changes within like 3 to 4 months, versus kind of a slow shift, which kind of was my personal journey, was more of a slow shift, but it's been durable for many years now. And I wouldn't go back, but that will just slow it down.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I can't wait to hear more. I love this topic, and I can't wait to learn more from you. And if you're watching, please join us at the JW Marriott Palm Desert in California on September 16th through the 19th at the International Plant-Based Nutrition Healthcare Conference. And Dr. Apple Bodemer is one of our many new speakers this year. And as you can tell, this is going to be a fascinating lecture. So Apple, thank you so much for your time today. I can't wait to see you in September and learn more about everything that you've learned in dermatology. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, thanks. And please join us. If you want more information, plantnutritionproject.org. You can click right there on the International Plant-Based Nutrition Healthcare Conference and sign up while there's still some discounts and seats left. Have a great day, everyone.